Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Half a day, Tirawami greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun. Oh. Good morning, Marianas.
Half a day, Tiro. Magandang umaga. Holy cow. What a day yesterday was out here in Saipan. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a day it was. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a whole lot lined up. Yesterday we were all over the place. We were quasi paparazzi. I mean, all those media genes were in full force yesterday, where we had folks from all over the planet that were here on short notice to try and follow what was the biggest story that happened yesterday all around the world. I know there's other stuff happening. I know there's other things that people think are more important, but I'm telling you, yesterday, the biggest story of the day, of the moment, at least the morning, was what happened with Julian Assange here, the founder of WikiLeaks, here at U.S. District Court. Okay, we're going to get into that. We're also going to have a rare joint phone call with the Ray Gibson show here in just a few minutes. So, and we're going to recount all this stuff because we did a good portion of our live stream yesterday while we didn't do the show in its proper, regular Good Morning Marianas form. We did that by streaming everything as it happened yesterday. And just amazing. We're going to recap with them because part of the show was during their show also. It was crazy yesterday. And I'll tell you what, I had a total get wiped out kind of moment yesterday afternoon. I ended up napping out for sure, somewhere like around 4 o'clock by the time everything calmed down. But wow, just wow. All right, well, let's tell you, Associated Press was here, so let's see what they ended up saying was their top stories, and then we'll be back with that joint show here in just a second.
AP News, I'm Ed Donahue. The Supreme Court seemed poised to allow emergency abortions in Idaho. Bloomberg News is reporting the court briefly posted a copy of an opinion on its website about allowing emergency abortions in Idaho when a pregnant patient's health is at serious risk. It does not appear likely to fully resolve the issue. The Biden administration is slamming Russia after Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich went on trial behind closed doors. The proceeding unfolded 15 months after his arrest on espionage charges that he, his employer, and the government vehemently deny. This is National Security Advisor John Kirby.
Embassy Moscow was granted brief access to the courtroom before the proceedings began today. They were not permitted to speak with Evan. So obviously we're going to follow this closely, and of course our embassy in Moscow will continue to seek to attend any and all future hearings.
Gershkovich is due back in court in August. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is back home in Australia and raised a celebratory clenched fist as his supporters cheered hours after pleading guilty to obtaining and publishing U.S. military secrets in a deal with the Justice Department. Here's the AP's Elena Durkin-Richer.
Assange was praised by many as a hero for exposing military wrongdoing that otherwise would not have come to light. Among the files that were published by WikiLeaks was a video which showed American forces in Baghdad killing 11 people, including 2 journalists.
It's unclear what Assange's future plans are. Robert Crimo III, the man accused of killing 7 people at a 2022 Independence Day parade in Highland Park, Illinois, rejected a deal requiring him to plead guilty to 7 charges of murder. His trial is scheduled for February. Tony Romanucci is an attorney representing families of the victims.
This was a calculated effort on his part to continue the suffering that our clients are going through.
The Dow finished up 15 points. This is AP News. A GOP endorsement for President Biden.
It's not often that a Republican endorses a Democrat for president, but that's what former Congressman Adam Kinzinger has done.
Today, as a proud conservative, I'm endorsing Joe Biden for re-election.
Because he says Donald Trump cannot be president again.
Donald Trump poses a direct threat to every fundamental American value. He doesn't care about our country. He doesn't care about you. He only cares about himself. And he'll hurt anyone or anything in pursuit of power.
Kinzinger becomes the highest profile Republican formerly backing Biden. Former Georgia Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan also endorsed the president last month. I'm Shelley Adler.
An independent watchdog within the IRS reports while taxpayer services have vastly improved, the agency is still too slow to resolve identity theft cases with delays that are unconscionable. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are just about to have our joint call with the good folks from the Ray Gibson Show. We're going to... Yeah, that's me.
All right, hold on.
All right, thanks.
And if you're
This is going to be a treat,
on
guys.
Route 16 southbound, you will run into traffic in front of the Department of Revenue and Taxation, the overpass, underpass, leading all the way up to Barragata Heights, according to our map. Maybe you just pull into Vinny's and wait until it all goes away, like next week or something like that, and you'll be happy. You could survive on a snack food over at Vinny's. You go southbound to that, 8, 10, and 16.
Morning, Joshua. Good morning, Lisa.
Right, don't see any major traffic from Dayton into Upper Tumont to Mooning and into the downtown Gatineau corridor. Things are looking pretty good out there. Do not have any word on any speed enforcement on the roadways yet. Did you get any calls on that?
No. Go ahead and speed.
Go right ahead. Test it out. In fact, close your eyes, just like you're driving a Tesla with the FSD. Southbound from 8, 10, and 16 into 10 and 4, looking pretty good. Nothing major on 4 or 8. So that's a look at driving around now. 747. You're listening to The Point.
Introducing GTA Fiber, bringing fiber connection all the way to your home.
All right, so they're running a commercial right now, but we're on hold with them right now, and then we're gonna be on here with Ray Gibson on The Point. It's kind of cool. It's a lot of fun. Hey, Tobak, good to see you. Joshua, good to see you. Louisa, all you guys, great to see you. Raymond, good to see you. Who else we got? That's all I can see at this moment on there. But so we're on the phone with these guys. You can see he's on hold right now. That's their live feed, and we'll have them on here. And yesterday it was just a lot of fun that we were able to do that. Tanya, good to see you this morning. And it was just fun to do that joint show with them yesterday. So we'll have, as soon as they come out of commercial, we'll have them on there. See, look, they're sponsored by IT&E also. How about that? And so they are on the radio on the station in Guam. You can see the different stations they've got there, but it's The Point, and Ray is the guy with regards to this stuff.
Yeah, 748 here on Guam. And what time is it up in Saipan?
9 o'clock.
Gotcha. It's all of the difference in the climates and everything. 748 in the morning, Ray Gibson Show. 888-8255-888-PALK. If it's busy, it's because I've got Brad Brasala on the line, and I understand he's doing his live video show.
Yeah. Our show, we're on his show, we're on each other's.
Depending on delays and the encoding and decoding and things like that, this is either going to be absolutely fantastic or it's going to be a blank show. But anyway, Brad Rosella, welcome to the Guam radio side.
Good morning, Ray. Actually, let me give you, everybody's in this now. Good morning, Ray. Ever since we had him here, everybody's speaking with a little bit of an Aussie accent.
Why not? Julian Assange and easily one of the quickest trips ever turnarounds that we've seen in a long time. Arrived about 6 o'clock yesterday morning. By 9 o'clock over in District Court in the CNMI, and by noon out. And so Saipan, as I've remarked a couple of times this morning, went from being the most important and most noted place on the planet. And now, as the sun breaks on the 27th of June here, goes back to a sort of quiet anonymity again. But it was a hell of a day in the sun yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did the best we could to make the most of it. I mean, really, at the end of it, after all was said and done, everybody walked out after the press conference and everything. MVA was out there. I saw one of the marketing reps from MVA with the hatch open on the back of her SUV, full of MVA bags, handing out all kinds of gear for the CNMI to all the visiting media members. It was really pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a question that had come up multiple times yesterday, even after my program had ended, was, what is the MVA going to be able to do here in this very short amount of time to make sure that, they are face forward, front forward with the hospitality of the Marianas, especially the unique brand of hospitality that you only get up in Saipan. And I'm glad that they were able to come up with a plan.
And on the spot too. I mean, they saw everything that was happening, everybody running around, all the different opportunities that they had for exposure. And hey, we didn't have to pay for it this time. I mean, this is a freebie for us. And what was really cool talking with all the reporters that were visiting, they all had to fly in here on a snap and make really quick decisions. But all of them are staying for an extra day. They're going to be here today, and so they're going to do a tourism angle while they're here, just so they have like an extra package to bring back with them. So it's going to work out with us, and they'll see our little our small town hospitality. But man, Ray, it was amazing yesterday. In fact, I'm putting together a little video. I'm going to do split screen of the two of us from when we were streaming on your show, because I watched. I want to see what it looked like when you guys were on the phone with me from your perspective too. And
I was gobsmacked. My jaw was on the console. It just what was happening in real time. And we had the right guy on the phone with you, because you have a kind of an intimate knowledge of a lot of things that most other people would not have even thought of. You knew exactly which gate he was going to be moseying over to, and sure enough, there were the vehicles. And then you had the presence of mind to be able to talk about it, what you were seeing on the air, jumping into your ride to go and see if you could surveil these guys to their next destination. And that's where we had to break away yesterday. So the question that I've got for you is, where did Julian Assange end up having breakfast?
So great question. So we got into the motorcade. We linked up with them again on the road, and we found them because I knew they went back the other way, and I'm like, if they're going that way, we should be able to catch them the other way. And we did, right when they turned down to John Monsignor Guerrero, going down the hill by NMC. And they took a right going up Middle Road, going up north. So I'm like, all right, I bet they got a room at the Crown. They did. So when we were going down Middle Road, and I thought that because when we drove past the courthouse, all of the media, and I mean all of them, were there. It looked like a small army outside. And we just blew past them. I'm like, I bet they're going to the Crown because it's close by and everything. So that's what they did. So when we took a couple of sides.
Is Ariel still there?
Yes, he is. Great guy.
Awesome. So okay, one of these. All right, next call. So what kind of, did he get a suite? And did he go and swim in the pool out in the back? Did he go and walk across the beach at Crown? Is as good, if not better, than the beach at the Crown on Guam. They're great. They're both great facilities and super great signatures for both of the hotels. So I'm so glad that he had an opportunity to maybe dip his toes in the kiddie pool over at the Crown Place. So they just stayed there for a while until it was time to go to the courthouse.
Yeah, so it was a really brief stop. So we got there just before they did because we took a quicker way there, and we were waiting for them when they walked into the hotel. And this was the big thing because we got the first shots of him, got the first questions for him, and he gave us a little nod, gave us a little eyebrow raise and smile and all that. But
he didn't. I've not seen any video of him actually talking to anybody. The courthouse. There's a full minute video of him coming out of the courthouse,
right.
And all of the journalists. In fact, I thought I could hear your voice in there shouting out questions to him, to which there was no response. He got quiet and got in the car.
Yeah, so one of the questions I asked two of his legal counsel, two members of his legal counsel came out and gave a press conference, and one of the questions I asked and was answered was, will he be speaking? And they said, no, he won't. But when he did come out, I asked him, how does it feel to be a free man? And I've got a couple different camera angles on it where and really quietly said, it's good. And that was it. Went back into the car. But you're right. He didn't say anything, went back into the car, and he was on his way. Now, in the court itself, while we sat through the whole thing, he did speak quite a bit and made some pretty big statements, and it would be great to get some more stuff from him. But, he asked, it's really interesting paying attention to how he answered the questions and what he was saying, his body language and what he was into. And how, when they answer a question, it doesn't sound like you're getting a real straight answer. It's like, did you sign this? Oh, I signed something like that. I signed something that looked like that. But so it doesn't sound as definitive. but then the questions that he actually locked in for and said that he did. In fact, I'm scrolling through my notes as we're speaking right now. By the way, I didn't realize he was only 52 years old. He
young man, tall guy, tall drink of water. But that occurred to me was that when I was talking about it with Jerry Roberts yesterday, was that he is a surprisingly young man considering everything that he has gone through and the adventures with WikiLeaks that he was in his 40s when all of that got started. Could you detect a little bit of a rapport that had developed in the short time that Julian Assange was in front of Judge Menglonia?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, there were a couple of lighter moments in there. Chief Judge Menglonia, she's got the perfect demeanor for a judge. She doesn't get animated. She's very, very methodical. And in fact, she's explaining everything all the way down. And that's her regular procedure. And, one of the questions she asked him, and I can't find it exactly on here, but she's like, making sure that he understood everything. And are you satisfied with the legal counsel that you've received from this? And he looks over and gives a little bit of a smirk and a little smile and says, well, depending on how things go at the hearing today, yes, Your Honor.
There was that, but there was a line that she gave, and I can almost see her smiling as she said, I think you will leave here a free man, or something along those lines.
In fact, hold on. Give me a second to scroll. It's one of the last things I wrote down. I think that was quote-worthy. It was at the end of what she was doing. And when she was explaining, this was the last thing. She said that where is it? She didn't have this. Oh, yeah. Were this unknown? This is her now giving her sentencing. She said, were this unknown, I would not be so inclined to grant this agreement. If this was 2012, without the benefit of what I know now, that you served in one of the harshest facilities in the UK, and that there are no personal victims here, there was no physical damage to anybody, and the dissemination of the documents did not result in any physical injury. If this was 2012, I wouldn't have granted this, but now that I know this, I would. And it's clear that the executive branch made this decision. The court doesn't determine the charge, but it appears that in your 62 months sentence that it was comparable and proportionate to what Chelsea Manning received in prison time and your overall 14-year ordeal, and that the comparison of your UK detention is fair and reasonable. So for these reasons, I'm sentencing you to time served, and you will be able to walk out of this courtroom today a free man. And that was it. And there was a bit of, she also, in the last part, to talk about the rapport, his birthday's on July 3rd, and she said, well, this is an early happy birthday to you, and and this is the first time you're going to be able to spend your birthday with your family in quite some time.
So saipan. That is so saipan. His hospitality oozes even in the courthouse. 7:58 and change. I've got them put the video that I've got, a piece of the video that I've got still from the shot. It is Julian Assange walking out of the courthouse, and I think it's a well done picture, a wonderful piece of video that was shot out there. But the question that I've got, and actually a couple of guys since I've shown this, is who's the girl in the tank top?
That is Pipit Ball. She is. She represented the CNMI in weightlifting, like powerlifting competitions and everything. Oh yeah, she's quite a beast.
So was she just a regular old citizen, saw what was going on over at the courthouse and decided that she was going to jump into the shot?
Yeah, and she was not alone. I'm telling you, the notable people who were there. I'm looking at my notes again. There were lawyers there. There were people from the Attorney General's office, doctors. There were a judge who just retired, a candidate for local House of Representatives, the DOC commissioner, the Saipan Hash House Harriers were there, psychologists, FBI special agents. Yeah, I mean, there was all kinds of folks. And again, these are people who just took an interest. One of the guys who was granted the title of persona non grata by the legislature, he was there. He didn't get inside, but he was outside. And in fact, one of his questions in the press conference was, do you think, will you be pursuing the Trump administration for a full pardon? And then that is when the legal counsel, he's like, okay, thank you, everybody.
That's right. More later. We'll see.
Yep.
Closing in on 8 o'clock in the morning. Brad, what a terrific guy is. Supercharger. Tell everybody whose name I mentioned or I brought up in the call. I said hello. I'd love to get up there and see you guys and dip my toes in the pool over at the Crown and go hang out at the beach side of the Crown. So tell Ed I said hello and tell the bodybuilder one of these days. I hope I get a chance to see you back on Guam sometime soon. We'll try to return the favors.
Hey, she even rides a motorcycle. I'm telling you, she's a firecracker. You got to come out and meet her.
She can back me. She can back me. 8 o'clock in the morning. I got to let you run. You have a great rest of the day. Time to break into Fox News on the Point.
All right, take care. All right, that was our experience there with Ray Gibson over there on the morning show on the Point. We're live on both of us there. So it was quite a kick. So didn't really see you guys in the comments here locally while that was happening. But I wanted to get you. Hold on one second. Oh, no. Let me turn off that. There we go. Boom. There we go. It's picking up his audio. That was a treat. We don't get that all the time. So, by the way, that's going to be one of the things I'm going to throw your way today after we get off the show. Put together some of the videos that we got, because I'm telling you, we got some great video yesterday. The live video was fantastic, and you guys got to see that. If you didn't, I mean, it's there for you all the time. You can see it anytime you want. But what was really, really cool is that we were able to get we had 2 camera people, and someone got a lot of great B-roll footage, but with a great camera, and shot so many great things, great perspectives, great audio. What a heck of a day yesterday, guys. I'm telling you, there was nothing like it. It was the absolute thing that you live for in this little journalism world. And it was the coolest thing. It was the absolute coolest thing. And I can't believe that this is just one of those chapters in my crazy Saipan life where I've got to do something that, nobody gets to do. Like, nobody gets to do that stuff. Oh, man. That extended live clip where it starts with us over there at the airport and it goes all the way through to the Crown. It's a long video if you want to go back and watch it. But I think it's really interesting, but it's almost like my dad described it when we were talking about it as the like Hard Knocks that they have for the NFL. It's the Hard Knocks series is like where they follow an NFL team through the training camp, through the regular season, and through the playoffs, and then they'll show it later, right? Like all the behind-the-scenes stuff from the coaches and all that. Well, that's what we ended up doing. Normally, you only get the videos, right? Or you get the stories from the reporters and everything. For this one, you got from the beginning when we started this. Then when I was on the phone doing an interview with Ray yesterday, when we first spotted Julian Assange and his entourage coming out of the airport and getting into the cars and then following them and getting into that entourage. Then when everybody went one way, we went the other way because we had a hunch that they were going to Crown. Pulled up into the Crown and we got the only shots of him coming in. And at that time, it was the only shots of Julian Assange. And then get him and his team getting into the elevator. And just the rush of that, what that was like with the other 2 guys that we had. It was the coolest thing. It was absolutely the coolest thing. And so if you end up watching it, you'll be able to go on that ride with us, see what it was like jockeying through traffic and getting that and asking him his first question and getting a quick response, even though it wasn't an audible response, just that he acknowledged that there was a question. We got the first one in for him. And then later, going to do the stand-ups, we got back and got to see all the other members of the media there at the courthouse. And then when we got to do the press conference afterwards and getting your questions answered, when there's a massive gaggle there of, that's what they call like a group of media folks, that when the gaggle is there and you're there and your question gets answered. It's awesome. There's a lot of people who have questions. They want to be there. They want to get their voice done. As much as reporters like to tell you the story of what's going on, they also like to be a part of it, kind of. That was kind of it. So, Tobat, Assange, he says, you're going to make good money for all your efforts and coverage for this. I have faith in you, man, just like you have with me. Tobat, you're the man, dude. Love you, dude. I love that, you're just a good dude, man. The work that you did is fantastic. And you can see it behind us here with these windows, right? And talking you up and everything. But, you've been following the show since we started doing it and getting on and sharing a lot of stuff about what's going on with you, and then just being able to hang out with you for a little bit. We need to do a hangout over a beer or two. Then that'll be even cooler. But I'm really glad that you've been along for this ride too. JJ, Assange still probably wondering about that guy's beard. I got so many comments about that, man. That from his friends and mutual friends and all that stuff. That was some good stuff, man. At the end, there was nothing else. That was nothing else. That's all you can do. It was a good day. It was a good day for all of us. And I'll tell you, we started the coverage with the live tracking of the flight coming in from Bangkok, and so we just had that going. The footage. We got footage of the plane landing live. We were streaming it live. So all this stuff is there. You can see it on our page that you're on right now. All that stuff though was not on the YouTube channel. I'll download all that stuff and post it so that you guys can see it pretty easy. But I'll tell you, especially that adventure of getting to the crown, that's like the money shot. We got it when he came in there. It was just crazy. Yeah, you're right. FlightAware. FlightAware was the software that we used for the tracking of his flight coming in. And we'll put all that stuff up. Man, it was just wild. I think I got to turn it all into like one big supercut and put all of them together. But one of the things I think my favorite part about it, after it was all said and done, after all the questions were asked, after all the driving, seeing this global icon and reporting on the story, doing stand-ups, exchanging pleasantries and contact information with the international media, I think my favorite part and what sets this little operation that we have apart is we didn't turn off and just say, that's it. It's all about me. See you later. I got to talk with the guys on the other side of the camera and ask them what it was like for them. Because for them, it was their first role at this, right? These guys are really talented at operating cameras. They're really talented at producing stuff. They're really talented at editing stuff. This is their first time to go on a roll like this. It was their first time to ride that wave of excitement and riding the adrenaline and going to all those places. Adrian told me about it afterwards when we got to the Crown. After we were walking away from the Crown, he's like, dude, I didn't tell you about it, but I messed up my ankle and I haven't been able to do anything. But I was running because I didn't care. I just wanted to get this. I'm like, man, I had no idea. So, but asking them afterwards, what was it like, and how that experience was for them. They want to do it again. They got the bug. Like anytime you're going to do something like this, just let me know. I'm in. Like, awesome. And we went out to lunch over at the Surf Club, had a great meal. Ate way too much, that's for sure. And we had an anonymous contributor to the program who is sending some money our way to give it to those two guys for all the work they did specifically yesterday. That's really cool. That's part of the power of this show, not just the morning show, but the NMI News Service. Just the support that we get from you guys. Man, what a day! What a day. Okay, we are going to take. I want to continue this conversation for sure. I'll talk about it all day with you guys. We got another hour in the program. And we are going to get in all that. But AP updates every hour. We've got that. We got to get some love for our sponsors while we've got them too. they're the ones who make it so that we can do all this stuff. So, I'll tell you what, looking at that video though, I'm like, man, I got to start working out some more. That's for sure. I got to get back into a regular thing. So if you want to get back into a regular thing, I'll tell you, we're going to be having a promo with Laddiebuilt, and it's going to be a dinger. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to have the chance to win a lot of stuff. But the first thing you could do is win yourself a new you.
Is built. We lead by example, persistent to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistent to build. Be the inspiration, they witness the proof. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
It's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down 3-0.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Ocean.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it, and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, it's just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above. That's on a holiday. That's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you can choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It is, what day is it? It's Thursday. I swear it's like I lost the day yesterday based on everything that happened. No kidding. It was wild. From bell to bell, it was wild. Well, hey, that was yesterday. Now it's today, and it is 8:15 a.m. It is 88 degrees here in Saipan up at the airport. Humidity's at 75%. Nice little breeze going on. It's about out of the east, northeast, around 15 miles an hour. Gusts going to be as high as 18 today. Looking at some isolated showers throughout the day. Tonight, same thing. Partly cloudy skies, lows around 78. The wind's going to be just the same. Tomorrow for Friday, how's that looking? Well, we'll tell you. Partly sunny skies, high near 89. Ooh, a degree higher than today. That's not too bad. Gusts as high as 21, though. Means the wind's going to be picking up. Chance of precipitation, about 30%. We'll see how that works out. Friday night's going to be about the same, and that's going to be a makeup game going on. But speaking of games, woof, there was a wild one last night. It was not a good night for the D-Niners, and the D-Niners have a great team. It's true. The Saipan Baseball League, the D-Niners are strong, but last night was not their night. They ran into a Cardinals team that was simply the best. They are 7-1 on the season now after their, oh my gosh, was it 23-3 last night? 23-3. Oh, these Cardinals are too good. I'm telling you, they are too good. We're going to see how they fare in the playoffs. But right now, they do have the best record. They're not the only undefeated team. Okay, we'll give you that. But I'll tell you, after that win, 23-3. Oh my goodness. They are definitely looking like they are ready. You think they're going to end up, who do you think they're going to play in the playoffs? I got a feeling there's a couple of teams that I think are going to give them a good run for the money. That's for sure. The Falcons are probably that team. The way Jonathan Narita was pitching, oof, man, dude's awesome. I'm telling you, that dude is going to be something. Here, let me put this one. This one's postponed to this Friday. That's Natives and White Sox going to be playing tomorrow night. Weather permitting, that's where they got postponed to 28 June. And that's based on the conversation that we had just this morning. Based on the conversation we had this morning, Representative Ev Probst come back tomorrow. We had him on the show today that started at 7, but we ended up doing it over on their page and copied it over to here too, just so it doesn't. It's just a little break in the action for us. So he's over there in Hawaii making his way back to Saipan. I love that too. It's the empanada for the Cards. That's right, man. Those guys are good, dude. That's going to be a heck of a game when these guys come around in the playoffs. So who do we got? Let's see. When's the next time we're going to see these guys? Next week is going to be a really good game. A couple of them. Check this out. White Sox Padres should be a good game. Padres really strong, and White Sox are way better than their record. Then you got the Cardinals and Sandlot. That's going to be a good game. Bears and D-Niners is going to be a great game. And Falcons and Bandits. Man, that thing should be just fireworks. That one's going to be on Friday, July 5th. It won't be on the 4th because nobody's playing on Liberation Day. But, man, that's going to be a heck of a game. What else is playing? Oh, Sandlot and Falcons the following week. That's going to be fantastic. Padres and Falcons going to be 2 weeks from now. Jeez, I mean, this season is going to be playing like some wild games there toward the end. How about the last week of the season? Cardinals and Bandits. Man, that's going to be a good one. I just can't wait to see it. So Cardinals, again, they are 7-1 now on the season. They, so 95, 105, 150. Are you kidding? They've scored 115 runs through 8 games and allowed just 25. Holy cow. The D-Niners, now that they're 1-5, they have scored 23 runs this year, and now they have given up 53 runs. So that's not looking all that great for them yet, right? Hold on. You know, we didn't even put in the Blue Sharks final the other day. You know why? Because we did the game on Tuesday night with Blue Sharks and the Falcons. It was a good game. Really, it was a great game. And we were happy to be there. But but it was 10-0. Falcons beat the Blue Sharks, but it was a good game. It was great if you're a Falcons fan for sure. But we didn't get to talk about it yesterday because yesterday was International Media Day at the ballpark. Hey, good morning, Mary. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Really great to see you guys. Good to see all you guys over there on the YouTube side, too. Just a reminder that we are over there on YouTube as well, over at NMI News 670. And that's where, we had a lot of people watching here, but if we were streaming on YouTube yesterday, that would have been off the chain wild for all the views that we would have ended up having. But we wanted to keep to our roots here on our Facebook channel. We're on both. We're definitely making sure that we got everything going on both. So, all right. So the latest news from easy for me to say, from the Associated Press should be out now. Let me just make sure that we got it. And it is in. So let's get that to you now. And before we get you out of here, we'll get you the last one after 9 o'clock. So here's the latest from the Associated Press.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Well, Libya's president has announced 3 new chiefs of the country's armed forces after armored vehicles rammed the doors of the government palace in an attempted coup. People took to the streets of La Paz in support of Luis Arce. In a video surrounded by ministers, he insists he stands firm and urged people to mobilize. Meantime, in Kenya, after protesters angry over proposed new taxes stormed parliament yesterday, President William Ruto said the people have spoken loudly.
They want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024. I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill.
A sudden change in a July 4th mass shooting case in suburban Chicago.
Robert Crimo III refused to accept the agreement that would have sentenced him to life in prison.
You saw absolute, unadulterated evil.
Crimo was silent in court when asked about the plea deal. After meeting, he was asked whether he wanted to move forward with it, and he said no. Tony Romanucci is an attorney representing the victims' families.
And that's what happens when you unlawfully place a gun in evil's hand. You are going to get a reign of terror. And today, you saw that reign of terror continue.
This means a trial for Crimo scheduled for February. Karina Mendez's father was killed at the parade.
He's up there looking at us now, telling us right now just to be patient.
Many in court were left baffled by the abrupt change. I'm Ed Donahue.
Wildfire has grown rapidly in Oregon's high desert near the popular vacation destination of Bend, officials urging evacuations of hundreds of homes. In Minnesota, a house teetering on the edge of an eroding riverbank near Mankato collapsed into the Blue Earth River as extreme weather and flooding gripped the upper Midwest. The National Weather Service assessing damage from possible tornadoes in Iowa and Nebraska. This is AP News. It's not NVIDIA's $3 trillion, but Amazon.com surpassed $2 trillion in market value for the first time this afternoon, riding the market's enthusiasm for companies involved in developing artificial intelligence. Amazon has been making big investments in AI. And Seth Sutel has the AP Markets report.
Stocks drifted to a mixed close on Wall Street, near the all-time highs they set last week. The S&P 500 edged up 0.2% Wednesday. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.5%. The Dow edged up 15 points. That's less than 0.1%. The majority of stocks in the S&P 500 index fell. FedEx helped offset those losses with a gain of 15.5%. The package carrier reported results for its latest quarter that easily beat forecasts. Rivian soared more than 23%. That came after Volkswagen said it would invest up to $5 billion in the struggling maker of electric vehicles. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note rose to 4.32%. Seth Sutel, New York.
And I'm Ben Thomas, AP News.
AP Sports, I'm Chuck Freeman. Mikal Bridges is being traded by the Brooklyn Nets to the New York Knicks. The Knicks gave up a lot to get Bridges. ESPN reporting that the Knicks are sending the Nets Bojan Bogdanovic, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and 1 protected pick. Bridges averaged almost 20 points a game for Brooklyn this past year. Baseball, the Subway Series, the New York Mets defeated the New York Yankees 9-7. Mark Vientos hit a pair of home runs for the Mets. Cleveland keeps rolling. They won their 7th in a row, 10-8 over Baltimore. And Pittsburgh's Brian Reynolds extended his hitting streak to 22 straight games in the Pirates' 9-5 win over Cincinnati. Track and field athletes heading to the Paris Games will not only be competing for a gold medal, but a first prize check worth $50,000 that goes with it. Huge coaching move in college baseball. Texas A&M coach Jim Schlossnagle is leaving the Aggies for rival Texas. Chuck Freeman, AP Sports.
All right, welcome back, everybody. That was your Associated Press update that we got every hour, top of the hour. Threw the sports in there, too. Normally, we do that at 8:30, but, I mean, we're already there, right? I mean, we're close enough. And we had so much going on today. Again, that first block of the show was with the candidate. Then at 7:45 to 8, we had that dual show interview going on with Ray Gibson over there at The Point, which was really cool, a real treat for us anytime we get to do that. And then we've got updates like you wouldn't believe. I got like another 5-minute sports package I just can't put on yet because we'll be there instead of here talking about everything that we had. Again, so today, I'm telling you, after we got back yesterday, we had some great lunch with the guys after we were done yesterday. Then came back here, started reviewing some of the footage. Those guys went off to go do their regular stuff. And I sat down on this couch that we have over here, and I knocked out. And I fell asleep. I power napped. I got a message from one of the folks in Guam. Like, hey, can you get on the radio? I'm like, yeah, I need to take a power nap. Like, I'm done. Like, I won't have any energy. By the time I woke up, it was like 6 o'clock. It was nuts. So I didn't get to go on with Paulie yesterday afternoon. But, man, what a blast it was. What a blast it was. Hold on just 1 second. I just want to check this other message just came in. Because there was another ask about for today also. Hold on 1 second. Oh, yeah. Hey, I got... I don't want to message this just yet. Still up for today? Question mark. If so, call 670-789-2323 and I'll be ready. Boom. Yeah, that was you guys remember who I thought was still like the best DJ of all time here. I loved Dice when she was with Power 99. Like the great voice, like the classic morning show voice. Hey, that's right. Like I can't do it. I mean, but like the smoothest, the coolest, just the best like personality. Like Dice is now she's been over in Guam for a long time. And if you know Nola, this is Nola's sister. And she's been with the radio stations over there. And now she's moving up in the world. She went from being the morning show host and everything, amazing, to being a producer. Now she's fancy now. She reached out yesterday saying, hey, can we get you on tomorrow morning with Patty? And that's Patty Arroyo. And then she was asking about that afternoon with Paulie Subi yesterday. I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I'm just exhausted. Totally wiped out. So just messaged her and said, hey, we're ready. So if you can, then we'll do the call at on the show here. So, which would be cool. We'll get a little double action going on and talk more about what happened yesterday and all the fun stuff. So, cool stuff. Oh, hold on. Let's see what we got there. Oh, yeah, that's stuff going on for this week. Oh, what else is going on? Man, we have a ton of stuff going on. Well, first of all, the Shack is open across the street. I just saw that slide pop up over there. Shack is open from 8 to 2 Tuesday through Friday and 8 to 12 on Saturday and Sunday. And, boy, you know, that was one of the places we would have went yesterday, but we went literally after we went back to fetch the cars from the airport, we went to the closest place. And so we ended up going to Surf Club. And, I mean, it used to be over there. So it was a great opportunity for us to go down and see my old digs and enjoy some nice lunch. What's it? What? No way. All right. No kidding. Dice, she's like, I got donkey gifts on standby for you. No way. That's crazy. That Don Donkey, the place that just opened in Guam, this massive superstore. I was just watching somebody's video of that and what that tour is like. They have a lounge in there. Of course, they got like a little restaurant area where you can eat food and all that. But their lounge area is awesome. Yeah, I think you pay $20, you get unlimited drinks while you're there. That might be worth the cost alone to get to Guam, just to go and enjoy that Don Don Donkey experience. I think it sounds awesome. It sounds amazing. All right, hold on. Donkey Kong. Yeah, you were there, weren't you? Oh, wait, you didn't go, Tobot, right? You said you were going to go, but you saw that parking lot, and you ended up not going there? Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out right now, waiting on this phone call, which we expect to have. Hold on. Oh, don't tell me that call came in and I missed it. Okay. Oh, good. Somebody sent me a message that my ticker might be off. Hold on. Let me take a look. We're not talking about my heart. Oh, no, that's my mistake. That was my ticker at the bottom of the screen last night. That is a mistake. Thank you for caring enough to send me a message about the mistake on there. Sorry, that game was last night, the Saipan Baseball League Cardinals, between the Cardinals and the D-Niners. It was last night. And you know what that was? That was a copy and paste and not deleting all the way. It's the same stuff that's lined up every day. I just have to blank out that ticker, and that little part stuck in there from yesterday. So hooray for that. Hooray for applesauce. I said, oh, you went, but you froze and blanked out inside. Too many people. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tobot, I would love to go and check out what that place is like. Now, I heard so much hype about it. Like, I need to see it. It would be like a real mission to get in there and check it out and then send it back and let everybody back in Saipan know what it's like. But, you know, I got to take out a mortgage just so I can get the airfare to get over there. We're not all tinting every day, making hand over fist. We're not all the tint man from Dan Dan. Hey, I know you. I'm looking forward to that. Tobot said he's going to go out and knock out one side of the windows for us over there at the press box at Tonko Palacios Field. We really don't need it all the way around. It's not like we have to do all the windows because a lot of it's nighttime games. But I'm telling you, the sunset side of that dugout, the westernmost facing, the southwesternmost facing block of windows. It is oppressive in there when we're setting up for those games. No matter how cold, I think you could set it for Antarctica setting on the aircon. Doesn't matter. That sun's going to melt right. It's going to come right through the windows, melt your face off. That's exactly what happens. Says the parking lot had 3 villages worth of cars too. I believe it. I believe it. I mean, I'm telling you, Saipan has nothing like that. Okay, Joten Superstore. We've got Joten Superstore, which I guess is our version of Don Don Donkey. I know it's Saipan Costco. It used to be Costco. I actually, somewhere in my box of things from Saipan, I have an old Costco membership card that I got from here in Saipan. And then after Costco went away, it's like, all right, well, it's just Joten Superstore now, so we just get good prices on bulk stuff. I'm a big fan of having a lot of stuff at a little bit of prices. You know, and that's one of the cool things about Joten. So between Joten Superstore and Joten, they have different buyers and different providers for different things. So you can get part of the shopping experience is going and finding which one has the best deal on the best products that you're actually looking for. And again, when you get them in bulk, you're going to get a better deal. So I'm a big fan of doing that. Mike does a great job over there at the store. I love it. It's one of my favorite places to go shopping here. So we'll see if we're still going to get on with these guys. But we'll talk about some of the stuff that happened. You know, I didn't even read the paper at all yesterday. I didn't have a chance. We were following the news. I didn't get a chance to follow any of it, but checking back at it today and seeing some of the things. And I had heard about this, but I wasn't sure if it was really happening. But TJ Manglonia, he's been on the show with us since we started, and he was running for House of Representatives with the GOP. and he won. Alongside freshman Representative Angelo Camacho. And those guys, I think they did a great job teaming up together. And then they didn't just, and they were in different parties, but it didn't matter. They were still serving the same community. I love that. It's not about the party, it's about the people. It's about in supporting the people that you're representing, right? That's what's more important. It's not about who's in a different party and all that stuff, right? When it comes down to it, it's all about you supporting the people who put you in office, right? And so that I loved going back to when Tina Sablon was still a representative, along with JP Sablon. Totally different parties. That was at that time. Go back. I mean, we're going back a few years now, right? That's the GOP and the Democrats, and here, not on the same team at all, right? That goes to the previous administration and all that stuff. But those two worked together for Precinct 2 to do anything they needed to do for the community, and it was a good deal. They didn't ice each other out because they were in different parties. No, they got together and did stuff because those are the people that put them in office. And they worked together, and it was fantastic. Well, that ended up happening in Precinct 5 also. And that is TJ Manglonia, Representative TJ Manglonia now, and Representative Angelo Camacho. And these guys did great stuff together. You know, after Richard Lozama left and went to run for mayor, and after Larry Guerrero decided not to run again, these two run, and they become a great team. So much so that TJ's not going to be running with GOP for this next term. He's running independent. And so is Angelo. They're going to run together. And now I don't have this confirmed, but this is the what the talk is that the GOP is looking at running Marco Peter as the representative for Precinct 5. Now he was a very short-term representative in Precinct 3. Remember the campaign was MP3. That was when there was a seat that opened up for the late. Actually, was that when Frank Dela Cruz passed away? Is that the spot that opened up? I think that's the one. Because that was the one. It was the one when Frank, former representative, long time, Frank Dela Cruz passed away. And Marco Peter won in Precinct 3. And again, it was the shortest amount of time. It was just what was left on the term and then came up to the next elections. And so now they've moved. They don't live in Precinct 3 anymore. So now they live over there in Precinct 5, excuse me. And that's the scuttlebutt that I got, that's who the GOP is going to roll out for next time. So exciting things happening over there. And I'm looking forward to seeing, we got to get Rep Manglonia on. So I'd love to hear what it's been like for him, what he's learned over his last, because we're a big fan of him. He's just a good guy. He does a lot of great stuff. He was a part of a couple of big brand launches. He's a real good marketing guy, but just the fact that he reached across the aisle, working with somebody from the other party to do good things in his precinct and to help out. And they work together on things. Together, that's how it's supposed to work, right? It shouldn't be a big shock or anything, but it's just so great that they do that, right? Again, they don't ice each other out. They talk to each other. Apparently, it's not what they love to hear at the party level, right? That you're working with someone else and making them look good too. Well, it's a two-way street, and I love the fact that he's not really interested in what the party has to say about that. He's going to work with the guy that he's got to work with to serve the community. Man, I freaking love that. Absolutely love that. That's why I'm not into the party stuff. I'm totally into the people. That's the cool thing. And this guy is too, and he's doing a good job. Both of them doing good stuff for their community. So that's the kind of people you want. Now, if they're working together and they don't do anything, that doesn't help anybody. But they are working together and they are getting stuff done, and it's awesome. So no, you know what? So I saw that question that came in on the text. Good. Was that when Ivan Blanco passed away? No, you know what? Remember, that's how Karina got in. it was Karina against Grace for that seat in precinct 3 also. Right? That's how they had that short race. That was a different one. But that was Senator Karina. That was running for Representative Karina. That was the Ivan Blanco race. Yep, but great question. And that's a really great question. Man, it is wild, and it's 8:40 over here in Saipan. I'm not sure where it is where you guys are, but I know a lot of you guys are here and in Guam. I love that joke that they had this morning when we were on the show. They're like, hey, it's what time is it here in Guam, and what time is it in CNMI? It's like, oh yeah, it's like 9 o'clock over there. Like, no. Those guys are awesome. Really terrific. Hey, let's get back into it though. But I love the idea that TJ is still working and still working with anybody, working with his counterparts. I always felt like that's how it should be. Like, I remember seeing like how, like in Precinct 1, you would see like all the guys from Precinct 1 teamed up, except for Ed. It was like all the GOP guys over there. And I know these guys. I mean, like all the guys who were like the GOP guys, they would say, this is a project brought to you by these guys. Oh man, why don't they work together? Like, why don't they all work together? You're a team. Whatever you are when you're running for office for that seat, sure. Cool. Got it. But when you guys are in office, you don't work for the party anymore. You work for your precinct. That's it. And while you do work for the precinct, you're a lawmaker. Like, that's the job. So you're really working for everybody. But specifically, I know you can have a real big you're a representative. You're a lawmaker who represents the people of your precinct. So, but you really have a responsibility to everyone, but you're representing the voices of the people who live in that precinct and what they want, not the party that you are a part of. So having that it's a real big deal to see these guys working together, like doing it the way it's supposed to be done. I'm a big fan, guys. A big fan. Look at me. I'm fanboying here. The work that TJ and Angelo are doing for Precinct 5. I am definitely a fan of those guys working together. So I will keep it up. I love to see you guys keep it up. And again, they bring some energy to it too. There's some young guys and they work together really well, and they're dedicated to that, to their community. And we'll find out in November if the community feels the same way. Again, I'm just some objective guy looking in the backside here, or from the outside. But these guys, their community is going to tell you if they think that they're doing a good job working together. I think they are. I think that's what the vote's going to come out to. A couple of young guys working well together, don't care about the party, just care about the mission that they have. So, see how it works out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited to see it. I don't know that anybody's going to break that up. Whoever anybody runs, I don't think anybody is going to break up that team right now. I think everybody in Precinct 5 is going to benefit from it. That's it. I think the longer that they're there together, working together, the more they're going to get done. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. All right. Hey, speaking of good things, the military was in town yesterday. It was really cool. The military's been in town for a little while. In fact, before we get to that part, we'll tell you that there's only a couple days left for the integrated readiness training. It's happening right now. It's been happening since June 10th, but tomorrow's the last day. Again, this is Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. No one island gets it. It's everybody. Dentistry services, optometry services, healthcare exams, behavioral and general public health education, and veterinary health. Yes, even your pets. In Saipan, it's at Saipan Southern High School. In Tinian, it's over at Tinian Junior Senior High School, with the pet part of the program taking place at the Tinian Dog Control Program up in Marpo Heights. And in Rota, it's again one-stop shop over at Dr. Rita Huckug Enos Junior Senior High School. Boy, I tell you, I trip on that every time I say it. I guess more coffee is what's prescribed. That's what they're going to tell me in the military. All right. Well, anyway, today they're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at all those locations. But tomorrow is the last day. And remember, tomorrow is only a half a day. It's only from 8 to 12 tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's when that whole thing wraps up. Now, the military's in town doing all this stuff, and it's coordinated through the good folks over at the Commonwealth Bureau of Military Affairs. You can call them if you got some questions about it. Their number is 789-3558, 789-3559. They even have 483-1812 and 483-1813. That's really cool stuff that they've been able to do and put that stuff together for us. I mean, working with the military, they are like the liaison offices between the United States military and our local government. So when they come in from off island, they want to do something that benefits our community. They coordinate all that through the Commonwealth Bureau of Military Affairs. Well, one of the things that CBMA coordinated was the cool thing from the HSC 25 guys, the Island Knights. They came in and they had what they call a static display, is the way they refer to it, right? A static display where they've got their helicopters were in town, just parked on the runway over by Gate 1 yesterday so that people can go and check them out. I mean, really cool things. The search and rescue helicopters that they have, whenever you see them flying around, they were there for everybody to check out. And it just so happened that it was at the same time when all this Julian Assange stuff was happening. So funny enough, when at the end of the day, when that whole motorcade made its way back up to the airport, the media, the foreign media, was there waiting outside Gate 1. And I think they saw the helicopters and thought maybe something else was going on. Like, no, it's just for local folks who want to go check all that stuff out. I imagine, like, we would have been there doing more of a doing something for it from the media perspective, but we were exhausted. We were wiped out. In fact, one of the guys left their vehicle over there at the start of all this stuff yesterday, so we just left it there and called it a day. Let's see, just checking to see if I got a call that came in. No, they didn't. Nope. Although somebody called from D.C. yesterday. Yep, yesterday morning. Maybe called that, thought maybe I had the mobile show going where you're able to call in and everything. No, we didn't have it. Oh, let's see what we got. I wonder what's going up with texting and driving. Text. So I'm just checking out the comments there. 1 second. It says, Ed and the rest of Precinct 1 are great to our kids. Okay. Not sure what's going on there. Sorry, guys. Checking out the show phone right now. Might have to get a new SIM card for that phone, too. The service is great on it, but there's having some kind of issue. It just said something about the SIM card. Oh, there we go. Maybe it just reset on the network. There we go. All right. Anyway, we're going to scroll up a little bit, get to your stuff here, guys. Sorry about that. People need to drop the act and do what's best for the entire community. Too much pride creates a tsunami. Top it off, taxpayer ended up with the bill. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you for sure. Hope we got some new tourists from the Assange media yesterday. You know, that would be really cool if we do. You know, it's really neat, though, that I'm telling you, MVA saw the opportunity with all this foreign journalists descending upon us. They went out and packed up a whole bunch of gift bags and everything and brought them down there and handed them out. Speaking with the teams that were there from Japan and from Australia, they were sticking around today so that they can go and do like a little tourism story too. So they're going to add in extra stories, not just the Assange stuff, even though that's the whole reason why they came here, trying to make the most of their trip to go and do stuff like that. And hopefully that generates something for us. Tobot says, Ed and the rest of Precinct 1 are great to our kids. They made our benches for our kids in our area because they have a bus stop sign and no bus stop. How about that? Also, I wonder what's going on when I am texting your... Dreezing up. I'm not getting that. Had to go in and out. All right, sorry, I can't really understand that one. Texting your... All right, anyway. First priority is building shelters for the bus transit because tourists use it. That's got to be for the representatives. Absolutely. You know, so good point. So talking with the folks from COTA, And we'll need to get them on in here for sure because they're really great and really accessible. They're helpful for us. But if they are holding up on creating the bus shelters for all the bus stops until all this road construction's done on Beach Road. That's the only reason. They need to make, and some of those bus stop locations might change, but the number one thing is they can't build those while all this construction stuff's going on at the same time. And they don't want people staying in those places while the construction's going on too. But yeah, that's a great point that they are absolutely working on. I spoke with Special Assistant Alfreda Camacho Maritita about that, and she said the exact same thing. Like that's the next phase of the project. What's really cool is that they've even expanded, how far the blue line goes to where now it includes swinging around through Chalman Senior Martinez and down Chalman Senior Guerrero to get to the college, so that there is a good loop so people can, at least from the south side for now, until they continue to expand, can get to NMC along with all the stores and all the other places, all the way down to Garapan. It's a great start and it's a great expansion. Things are moving in the right direction for COTA. That should be their slogan, right? Transit CNMI, we're going in the right direction. There you go. How about, is that ridiculous? I don't know.
Take this job seriously.
Yeah, I do too. I really, I got to make sure the volume is up when I do that stuff. That's it.
I take this job seriously.
That's it. There you go. Now you can hear it. It's a little bit better. Here we go. Oh, no, Glenn's coming in with something good news. He says, on another note, the World Surf League is in Brazil for the second last stop on the tour. That's it. Sorry about that. A little typo. It says, this is the final stop before the athletes head to Tahiti for the Olympics. Oh, can't take that call right now, but it's good that it's coming in. Anyway, I think that's just about what we got today. I mean, we'll hit the other stuff, I think, en masse tomorrow. Look for a lot of the video updates that we have from what happened yesterday. It was crazy. And I want to get more on this, too, because I saw this story. I did see this story when I was checking it out yesterday, that Star Marianas is suing Marianas Southern Airways. I didn't even get to read the complaint. I spent so much time at the U.S. District Court yesterday, but none of it was at the terminal. That's another thing, too. The entire audio from yesterday in court is available. It will be available, according to Chief Judge Ramona Manglonia. She cited that based on the popularity of this case and all the media that came in, and you're not allowed to record in the courtroom, she is going to make the complete audio from yesterday available. So, but it's only available if you've got one of those Pacer accounts. So we're going to have to get that. And, we're looking forward to having that and putting that out there so you guys can hear some of that for you too. Especially because some of the comments that were made yesterday, because it's the only time you got to hear Julian Assange speak was when there were questions coming directly from Judge Manglonia. And, he made some questions. Hold on. He made some statements about, do you think you received, or do you think you received a quality representation? And do you understand the charges against you? And that's what I want to get into because of what he had to say. That was funny. She asked, are you satisfied with your counsel? And he kind of smirks and says, well, it might depend on the outcome of this hearing, Your Honor. That was hilarious. But let me get to that point, to that one comment that he said about the charges. Okay, scrolling through. He understands all that. He waived his rights to that. They're talking about the appeals on there. And so she asked him, the way Judge Manglonia went about doing it, she's very methodical. Again, she runs through all the things. She wants to make sure that the person who's in front of her at court is totally aware of everything that's going on and totally understands the U.S. system, especially because Julian Assange is a not a citizen of the United States. He's a citizen of Australia. In fact, one of the questions that she asked during the thing is like, can you give us your background of your education? He said, well, I did spend some time in university. I've not even received a degree from high school. That was interesting. So she asked other questions to say, hey, what do you know about all this stuff? And he says, or she asked, tell me what you understand the charges against you. And he says, working as a journalist, I encouraged my source to provide information that was said to be classified in order to publish that info. I believe the First Amendment protected that activity. But he believes that the First Amendment and the Espionage Act are in contradiction to each other, and that the reason why he's pleading guilty is because he thought it would be difficult to win that case, giving all the things considered. And I would love to play that audio for you. Again, not allowed to record it, can't be sneaky and record it. If you did that and you get in trouble for it, you can get charged with being in contempt of court, and then you're going to have to pay some fines and maybe do some time in jail. You don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. So instead of breaking the court's laws or the court's rules, we ended up not doing that. Let's see, national. Yes, Tobot, today is National Work From Home Day. I love that you work from home every day. That is great. Well, it is National Work From Home Day, so enjoy it while you can. I'm going to be doing a lot of work from the studio today to tie everything up with a nice little bow from yesterday's stuff. You could hear it in my voice, man. I did not go out or do anything yesterday. I racked out here at like 6 o'clock. I woke up here at 6 o'clock after falling asleep around 4 o'clock. I literally fell asleep in here. And I'm like, oh, God, power napped like crazy. I went home. I didn't even eat dinner. Like, I went home and I took a shower and I went to bed. Like, that was a full day. It was a full day that started early. Oh, it's because you're old. Oh, I know. It says, so, Brad, so CODA is in charge of building shelters for transit spots? Yes, that is how that works. That's like all the school bus stops out there, those are not the responsibility of PSS either. Those are, now PSS might set where the designated spot is for pickup and drop off for the students, but PSS is not responsible for the bus stops, the actual physical shelter that's there. Nothing to do with PSS. On the other hand, CODA is in charge of, they are going to be building better shelters for the transit spots. That's according to CODA. Now, could somebody else do it? I guess so. But CODA, that's part of their project, is building something so that people don't have to wait outside in the rain. And right now, the other, like that thing, like one of the spots is over there by that Jotan intersection. There's all that construction going on over there. They don't want people waiting right there in traffic, and so there's people just kind of got to wait-ish right now in different spots. There we go. And that's the best that they got until this construction's done. And, I can't believe how much of the construction is not being done in the areas that need it the most right now. They're doing it fast to make sure that the parade route's great, which is good. I wasn't sure that they were going to have a parade, but I'm really glad that they're having a parade. And I'm really glad that we're going to be able to be there doing the announcing for the parade. We're so glad. I'm so happy about it. But I'll tell you, all this work out here that needs to get done, that's got to be, as soon as the parade route area is done, they need to stop doing what they're doing everywhere else. They need to finish this intersection that's right in front of the courthouse. They need to finish the intersection that's right in front of Jotan. And they need to, so many people pass through there. There's so much government business. There's so much actual business. There's the school is right there. That little bit of the road right between the gym and the shack, they got to go all the way to the intersection at AK. They need to get that stuff done so that people can take care of business. That's got to be one of the priorities. Right now, I know that they shifted gears to make sure that the parade route's going to be fine. But like as soon as it's done, like there's no, it's crazy to me that that's part of it. So All right, well, that's what I got. Okay, more questions came in. I'm about to sacrifice, even a pop-up temple would help. I'm about to sacrifice mine that I work with just so the kids could be covered. Oh, yeah. Oh, for the CODIS bus stops, yeah. But those pop-up tents, they'd help. Where would they would fly away, or they'd end up in someone's pickup. Said, who could influence them to put pop-up tents? Got to think outside the box nowadays instead of using construction as an excuse. No, the main thing is with construction as an excuse, they can't build anything because they got to see how all that stuff works out too. They have to see how exactly where that's going to be. Like you look right across the street from here is going to be a stop where and they built it right behind a bus stop. Like the thinking on this is so dumb. I'm telling you, you look at it. I don't have the camera hooked up because it was broken down for everything yesterday. But I'll zoom in on it for you another time. But there's a school bus stop right across the street from here. And right behind it is this other structure that they have designed to be a bus stop. It's right behind it. You know what they're going to end up doing? They're going to end up knocking down that bus stop. I know that's going to happen. The school bus stop, they're going to end up knocking down. Because it's at the same spot. Anyway, they have to pop-up tents for all those stops. Really, the main thing is that even if it's a pop-up tent or like a better tent, the reason why they're not doing it is because they might not keep those same spots after the dust settles. They might see that there's a better spot for it, and they might already have an idea where that's going to go, but they're just not doing it that way. And I can't imagine Coda can just have those tents out there forever and then have somebody break them down when the wind gets a little too much. They're going to have something at those spots, but I like the idea of having something else. Like right in one of the stops, by the way, one of the stops that's there is right in front of Great Harvest. It's like right at Great Harvest, right? And like if you could get places like that to really adopt that spot, like if Great Harvest put out an awning so that people can sit underneath that by those tables that they have outside and everything as a bus stop, I think it makes sense for them to do it because it encourages people to go over there and hang out. And if they're hanging out there, they might buy a coffee or a sandwich or some bread or some anything on their way to work or on their way home. Like adopt your stop. If you're lucky enough to have, and you are as a business lucky if you have a stop directly at your place. You're absolutely lucky. You should be fighting for a spot that stops right at your place because that's just an opportunity for commerce. That's it. You get an opportunity for somebody to grab that coffee, and you should welcome. Hey, give them give them a transit discount. You're riding the bus and you're coming over here, I'll give you 50 cents off a coffee. It's not the world, but it's something. And, show us your ticket for today. You just got off the bus or you're waiting for the bus, here's your 50 cents off. Well, what if you can't prove it? Big deal. It's 50 cents. It's not something that's going to break the bank, but encourage the folks to use your stop. They could stop somewhere else. They even do that for gas, by the way. So when I was with the other company, they gave me a corporate fuel card. And so it didn't matter where I've fueled up at any of the stations. There was one, like it was mobile, not IP&E, but it didn't matter where I pay the same. I just give them a card. But there was a station over here in Susupi that if I filled up there with my corporate card, I get a free drink. That's how you encourage business. You're going to get paid anyway. So what's the cost on that? You subtract that from the cost of a fill up. You just get more people filling up there. Now, did I go there all the time? No, it just wasn't as convenient for me from the way I was driving. But I knew it was there, and so there were times when I would go there. Only like 3 or 4 times I think I went there, specifically because of that. Other times it's just based on the convenience of wherever I was. But that's one of those things that you want to do to be active. Anyway, that's what I think is the main thing for today. We're going to wrap up. I'm going to start doing a whole bunch of editing. I'm going to start working on some breakfast, see if these guys over across the street are serving up some good stuff for me because they are every other day. So I want to see if they've got some good stuff today. That's it. Before we go, though, I'm going to send you off with the latest from the Associated Press, give you their update that came out just a little bit ago. Oh, is this the most recent one? Let me make sure. Hold on one second. because 9 o'clock is the time. There it is. I almost played you the same one from an hour ago. That would be no good. All right, so here's the latest from the Associated Press. Going to get you out of here with the latest from the U.S. and all around the world. Thank you guys for tuning in, and at least you'll be able to hear what they've got. All right. Great, guys. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and you'll see the other updates coming on throughout the day. Here we go.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Armored vehicles rammed into the doors of Bolivia's government palace today, but the apparent coup attempt has failed. After confronting the Army's general commander in a hallway, President Luis Arce posted a video message urging Bolivians to rise up against it. The 60-year-old leftist is seen as an opponent of free market policies. In Kenya, President William Ruto says he won't sign a finance bill after protesters stormed parliament yesterday over new taxes in it. In this country, the Supreme Court appears ready to allow emergency abortions in Idaho when a pregnant patient's health is at serious risk. Sagar Magani has more.
Bloomberg News says the opinion was briefly posted on the High Court's website before being taken down. A court spokeswoman says it was a mistake and the official opinion is still to come. Idaho is among 14 states banning abortion at all stages with very limited exceptions. The document suggests the justices would reinstate a lower court order allowing Idaho hospitals to perform emergency abortions to protect a pregnant patient's health. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Yet an IRS watchdog says the agency is too slow in responding to identity theft cases. Ed Donahue has this one.
The Taxpayer Advocate report to Congress shows overall the 2024 tax filing season went smoothly. Services have vastly improved, but it says delays in handling identity theft cases are unconscionable. The time it takes to resolve self-reported cases has worsened since the previous report. Then it was nearly 19 months. As of April, the IRS delay was 22 months. The IRS said in a statement it recognizes the backlog of identity theft cases remains one of the most significant ongoing service gaps. The leader of the watchdog group, Aaron Collins, says overall, over the last 4 years, the IRS has progressed from a place of despair to a place of hope and optimism for the agency and taxpayers. Ed Donahue, Washington.
This is AP News. Teams are looking for tomorrow's stars as the NBA holds its draft tonight. Meantime, after the Florida Panthers raised the Stanley Cup as champions Monday night, Gethin Kulba reports the NHL is honoring some all-time greats.
Jeremy Roenick has been elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame after being eligible for more than a decade. The high-scoring American forward is part of the Hall's class of 2024, along with two-time Stanley Cup winning Russian winger Pavel Datsyuk. Also elected were Canadian defenseman Shea Weber and two U.S. women's players, Natalie Darwitz and Chrissy Wendell-Pohl. Longtime executives David Poyle and Colin Campbell are also being inducted in the Builder category. I'm Gethin Kulba.
And one Hockey Hall of Famer is calling it a career. Glenn Sather built and coached the Edmonton Oilers to 5 Stanley Cups between 1984 and 1990. As a player, he was known as a feisty third and fourth liner, playing for 6 teams over 10 years. I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
AP Sports, I'm Chuck Freeman. On the eve of the NBA draft, a huge trade between the New York Knicks and Brooklyn Nets. Correspondent Gethin Kulba has the details.
Two people with knowledge of the details say that Mikal Bridges is being traded by the Brooklyn Nets to the New York Knicks, where he will join Jalen Brunson and his other former Villanova teammates. The first trade between the New York rivals since 1983 will put Bridges in the lineup alongside Brunson, Josh Hart, and Dante DiVincenzo, players who helped the Wildcats win 2 NCAA championships. The Knicks will pay big to get him, with ESPN reporting Tuesday that they are sending the Nets Bojan Bogdanovic 4 unprotected first-round picks and 1 protected pick.
With those two New York City rivals making a deal in the NBA, the Subway Series was also going on between the New York Mets and New York Yankees. Mike Mancuso has more.
The Mets took Game 1 of the Subway Series, holding on to beat the Yankees 9-7. The Mets built a 9-1 lead after 6 innings. They hit 4 homers off Yankee starter Garrett Cole, 2 from Mark Vientos.
We've been swinging the bat pretty good. I feel like we're riding the wave. We're sticking to our plan, our approach. We talk about it before games, and feel like we keep doing this, we'll be dangerous.
Brendan Nimmo and Harrison Bader also went deep. The Yankees made it close late. Aaron Judge with an 8th-inning grand slam, his 29th homer to go with 75 RBIs. The Yanks have dropped 8 of 11, while the Mets have won 14 of 18.
Other interleague action, Detroit surprised Philadelphia 4-1. It was Milwaukee 3-1 over Texas. Bryce Wilson threw 6 shutout innings for the Brewers. Miami got a strong pitching performance in their win over Kansas City. Greg Eklund reports.
The Miami Marlins quieted the bats of the Kansas City Royals in their 2-1 win. Johnny Chirinos gave the Marlins 5 strong innings to start before A.J. Puck picked up the win in relief.
And everyone's down there throwing the ball well. And, right now, whenever they call our names and get in the ball game, everyone's got the confidence to go in there and, try to keep us in the game and help us win.
Puck was one of 4 pitchers out of the bullpen who combined to limit the Royals to just 1 hit. Nick Gordon scored the eventual winning run in the 7th after Royals starter Seth Lugo had departed.
Houston defeated Colorado 5-2. Arizona topped Minnesota 5-4. The Los Angeles Dodgers were in Chicago facing the White Sox. David Schuster reports.
Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman both homered as the Dodgers defeated the White Sox 4-3. Ohtani led off the game with his NL-leading 24th home run, with Freeman adding a 2-run blast 2 innings later. Freeman then saw Ohtani give his team the lead for good with an RBI single in the 4th.
I think we've said everything we can since he's entered this league about what an amazing player he is. But when you come over here, you just never know how first year is going to go in any team. But sometimes you just got to step back and just appreciate a player like this.
Ohtani has now driven in runs in 9 straight games, tying a Dodger franchise record. 6 LA relievers combined for 7 shutout innings as the Dodgers made it 7 wins in 9 games. As for the White Sox, it was loss number 60.
In the American League, Toronto ended a 7-game skid, 9-4 over Boston. LA Angels defeated Oakland 7-5. Tampa 11-3 over Seattle. The Rays now back at the 500 mark for the first time since June 7th. Cleveland outslugged Baltimore, as Craig Heist reports.
Jose Ramirez hit a 3-run homer as part of a 5-run 4th inning as the Guardians won their 7th straight game, outslugging the Orioles 10-8. The Orioles dropped their 5th straight despite hitting 4 homers on the night, including Gunnar Henderson's 25th. Gabriel Arias had 3 hits and 3 RBI for the Guardians, while Bo Naylor had 3 hits, an RBI, and 3 runs scored. Manager Stephen Vogt likes his team's approach.
This team believes we're going to win every night. We don't look at our record. It's way too early for that. We talk about winning every day. We'll worry about tomorrow, and that's what this mindset has been, and we're going to continue to stay that way, and it's fun.
Pedro Avila got the win in relief. Cole Irvin lasted just 4 innings and took the loss. Emmanuel Clase pitched the 9th for his 25th save.
In the National League, San Francisco defeated the Chicago Cubs 5-1. San Diego 9-7 over Washington. And Pittsburgh down Cincinnati 9-5. The Pirates' Brian Reynolds extended his hitting streak, the longest in the majors, to 22 straight games. WNBA, Minnesota topped New York 94-89. Track and field athletes heading to the Paris Games will be competing not only for a gold medal, but for a first prize check worth $50,000 that goes with it. Texas A&M baseball coach Jim Schlossnagle is leaving the Aggies for rival Texas. Chuck Freeman, AP Sports.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami greetings. To Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news. From a beautiful place with Pacific views. It's always so much fun. Good morning, Marianas.
All right. Hey, and just one quick reminder before we get out of here today. Just want to let you know that the VFW here in Saipan is always open for you guys. And if it's open to everybody, it's not just open to veterans. It's not just open for people who serve. The VFW is open for business at night. So go head on down there and make them your first stop when you're hydrating for a night on the town in Garapan. Make your first one for the troops, and then go off and hit the rest of Garapan. The VFW, it's on the 2nd floor. It's right next door to Godfather's, right next door to Johnny's, right next door to Cheers, right next door to Safe House. They're right there. They're on the 2nd floor. They're the one with all the service flags hanging out outside. walk upstairs and go and enjoy the second floor upstairs open air canteen at the VFW. Again, make your first one for the troops and then go have a great night out of town. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you guys when we tune back in again tomorrow at 7 o'clock for Good Morning Marianas. It's been great to have you, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.